Okay, so I'm back for a TTC update. My cycles have been really strange. Last I updated, I was on, I think, like cycle day 33 or something like that. That ended up being a 35-day cycle, and then I got my period, and my period was, I mean, I guess it lasted almost as long as normal, about 5 days instead of 7, but it was definitely later than normal. But I don't know, I don't really know what to think about that. And then the next cycle, if you'll call it that, I don't really know what cycle day I'm on. I have no idea. Because after my long cycle, so I got my period, and it was a shorter than normal period. And then I had, I think it was 17 days, and then I started spotting. And then like I had 1 day of light bleeding. And so I was like, is this a period? Is this not a period? Is this implantation bleeding? I have no idea what's going on. It was 17 or cycle day 17, so like maybe this is implantation bleeding. Well, I don't think so, because a couple, I don't even know, a couple weeks have gone by now, and started spotting again a few days ago. Still negative pregnancy tests. I had 2 days of spotting, 2 days of a very light flow, and then a day of spotting, and that was it. So again, I don't know if that was a period or not. But then to add to the confusion, the last 2 cycles, if you'll call them that, so the long one and then that 17-day period, I never got a positive OPK, and I just never really had too much in the terms of fertile signs, and so I don't know, I don't think I was ovulating, which would again explain my wonky cycle lengths. And so today, if we count the spotting and weird bleeding that I had a few days ago, I'd be like cycle day 5 or 4, something like that. And I took a pregnancy test today, but actually what happened is I went to take a pregnancy test and I accidentally grabbed an ovulation test. I ended up doing both. And so pregnancy test for today is, waiting for that to focus, if it'll focus, completely stark white negative. The OPK that I accidentally took for today, it is almost positive. So, I mean, it's like barely, the control line is, or excuse me, the test line is barely like a sliver of a shade lighter than the control. So I don't know. I'm gonna take another pregnancy test and ovulation test tomorrow because I have no idea what's going on. And then to make it even more confusing, I'm having weird cramping, and I'm not really sure what else to call it. And what's alarming about it is that it's been 1 year since my ectopic, and I had basically just found out that I was pregnant a year ago, and I did not yet know that it was ectopic, and I was having really odd cramping that was pretty painful, lower abdominal cramping, almost like rectal pressure, like I was really constipated or something. And I remembered having something similar to that when I was pregnant with Alex, when I was like 6-7 weeks pregnant, and so I chalked it up to that. Well, that pain ended up being because I was bleeding into my abdomen and I had an ectopic pregnancy. And so now that it's been almost exactly 1 year, and then I'm having weird pains like that, like they're not nearly as severe, like it's just really mild, but it's like kind of a little bit triggering because I'm like, this is alarming. I have weird cycles going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm all over the place on the map with my cycle, and I'm having these weird cramps that remind me of my ectopic pregnancy. It's not fun. So I'm hoping I get some sense of normalcy soon. I do think that this is related to whatever I was going through for the last like 2 months, when I had like the weird eyelid rash and then like extreme fatigue. Like I've been fatigued for a couple of years, but like this was like extreme. And I basically just like woke up, I don't know, like a week ago, feeling completely like myself again. So like having good energy and like just having almost no skin issues. Still kind of healing a little bit, but in general things seem to be so much improved, and I feel like myself again. So I'm hoping that whatever that is behind me. I did have more testing done. I met with my rheumatologist who, lupus was still on the table, but he wanted to rule out another autoimmune disease called dermatomyositis, which is a connective tissue disorder that attacks basically the blood vessels that go to muscles and what else? Lungs, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different connective tissues that it'll attack. and it leads to like weird heliotrope rash around the eyes. There's other signs that it leads to as well, and so he tested me for that, and all my testing actually came back normal. My liver enzymes are improving now. My ALT and AST were mildly elevated before. I think it was like 2 to 3 times the upper reference interval for depending on which one. One was 2, one was 3 times. Now I believe my AST is within the normal range. My ALT is only slightly above the normal range, like less than 2 times elevated, and so whatever happened with that is resolving, and I have no idea. I'm sure if I had a CBC done right now, it would probably be normal again as well. I don't know. So I'm supposed to meet with a rheumatologist eventually, kind of putting that on hold a little bit because I'm feeling really good. So I'm gonna put that on hold as long as I can because of COVID. I need to have a pap smear done. I am overdue for that. I came up due for that a year ago, put it off, and then right when I was gonna do it, COVID hit. So I'm overdue for that. I really should have the hysterosalpingogram done as well. I was supposed to get that done after my pregnancy, my ectopic pregnancy last year. I never did. Part of me, so I tried to do it. I tried different cycles to schedule it, but it has to be done a very specific day of my cycle, and it's really hard to schedule that when I can't just take off work. Like I can't. If I already have appointments scheduled, I can't just take off work. It's different when I'm like sick and calling in sick, but if I'm like, hey, I need to take Friday off and it's like Tuesday, it's not gonna work. So basically I'm gonna keep trying to schedule that, but at the same time with COVID, I'm like, maybe I'll wait. So yeah, we're not really sure where anything is right now with our cycles. All we know is that this bad boy is maybe gonna be positive soon, and so I'm gonna keep testing with that, testing on tomorrow, and we'll see if it's positive, because if it is, like, 1, I have no idea what cycle day I'm on, 2, like, okay, good, finally, positive OBK. I don't know. I think I need to start tracking my morning temperatures. It's just hard because usually the dogs are what wake me up. I get woken up by puppies that need to go outside and go potty really quickly, so it's kind of hard to like take my temperature and wait a minute and then go outside. Like when they wake me up, like they need to go. So it is like 7 o'clock in the evening and it is over 90 degrees still. I am melting, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go inside and yeah, that's about it. So I'll update when I have more information about this or anything else. So